Every big recession in this world brings something new, but the only difference is that as an individual or as an entrepreneur, you need to learn this and you need to catch this as early as possible. The highly unfortunate part of the life is that the media, who is supposed to be a very integrated pillar in the financial market, is literally not worried, because I always say they are either paid or they are incompetent or they are both. But majority of the times they themselves give apparent indication that they are both. When it comes to the financial market, there is one form of advisory which is picking up at a much faster pace. There is no denying from this fact as far as media is concerned. But to me, there are many denial factors, because we are a person who believes in numbers. We are a person who believe in facts. And to collate the facts, we take time. Because we never say this politician is corrupt, that politician is corrupt. It makes no sense. We talk only numbers, and you know that. These are the numbers. Lot of content is being written about the robo-advisory or algo trading or automated algo trading on Google and all. But unfortunately, the so-called writers, they only write the almost similar content, a little bit control C, control V and control H, find and replace, and content is more or less same. But this recession, which is according to me yet to start, because I, on a personal note, without having offense to any doctor or any business channel, feels that the Chinese coronavirus problem will not resolve before September. That's my personal opinion. And I don't think that currently we have enough infrastructure. Even if by May this vaccine will come, then this vaccine will reach to each and every corner of the road within 1 month. I doubt that. To me, if this vaccine come in May, it might take more than 6 months to get this vaccine available at each and every corner of the globe. Because the globe on theory or on paper is globalized, but practically it is not. But considering all this, in terms of coronavirus, and why I'm talking about coronavirus is, coronavirus having a deepest impact on fixed income markets of the globe. And guys, that impact is around 8 trillion now. 8 trillion, which is around 2.5 times of Indian GDP, or around 50% of Chinese GDP. So 15% worth of Chinese GDP, which is around 15-16 trillion dollar, 50% worth of investor wealth is already eroded. It is good for nothing. And the burnt felt by billionaires, Jeff Bezos and all, and felt also by the middlemen. But most of the people only read that in the newspaper. They do not go one level higher and try and investigate that what got eroded in the equity. Is it share or any other asset class? The hard reality is it is not shares, it is ETFs, exchange traded funds. I appreciate that Indian central banker is a timid central banker. And it's once again proved by Supreme Court of India, whereby they removed the restriction made by RBI in the cryptocurrency. And I'm thankful to the Honorable Court, though I'm having interpretation issue with the court direction, that we would have a separate video. So India is having amongst the limited ETF market in the globe. In fact, according to best of my knowledge, it is only Nikon who is selling the ETF in India, as far as a global player is concerned. But if I exclude Nippon, ICICI, UTI, Franklin, Axis, everybody selling ETFs. But they are the domestic player. And guys, the size of that ETF is relatively very small. It stands nowhere in this globe. Nowhere in this globe. So the biggest ETF market we have in US, we have in Europe, and we have in Singapore, as far as the Southeast Asia is concerned. So in Southeast Asia region, Singapore is the key to ETF market, no denying factor. In fact, Singaporean index, which is Straits Times, also have multiple ETFs. That is subject to interpretation issue. The interest these ETFs generate is definitely below par. But that's a different thing. Completely different thing. Now what happened? After this coronavirus, the market sell-off started. And due to this market sell-off, people started selling the ETFs. Now in ETF, there are two categories. One is the general public, you and me, and one is known as the managed accounts. What is managed account? They are HNIs. Example, they invest 10 million, 20 million, 25 million, maybe more. So they got a dedicated personal relationship manager who will manage these accounts. But when it comes to robo-advisory predominantly invest in ETFs. Predominantly. You go to any robo-advisor of United States, every robo-advisor of Europe or Singapore, few I know personally, they invest predominantly in ETFs. And their algorithms never had a test on such kind of market when the world faced biggest ETF sell-off, and which not spared even the big guys like SPDR, Spider, State Street, iShares, BlackRock and all. All the big guys felt the burnt in this sell-off. And guys, remember, this sell-off not yet stopped. It is yet to start, because the coronavirus situation will worsen from here. And if it worsen from here, then the ETF sell-off will trigger, and this would auto-trigger the equity sell-off. And when it auto-trigger the equity sell-off, the biggest test would be the algorithms, which would be written by few people and used by the robo-advisory people. And I strongly doubt that even if I include the best regulator like Monetary Authority of Singapore, they hardly watched or hardly reviewed this algorithm, or they would hardly understand that. Because I met with MAS several times, I know their competence. So anyone comes and say, I am having a robo-advisory and this is my algorithm, the regulator will trust that and give the permit. They don't have guts to review this algorithm step by step and pinpoint the mistake. In all these regards, there is a report which publishes from DB, Deutsche Bank, and we would like to give a credit to Deutsche Bank for taking some data out of that report. So we are not like Siraj Rawal who copies somebody data. The data in this report, some part is taken from DB also. So we give due credit to DB report. Now there are 3 steps to robo-advisory. Number 1, the initial investment screening, which includes KYCC. You rightly heard, KYCC, know your customer credentials. When we talk about robo-advisory, we use KYCC. When we talk about hedge funds, we talk KYCC. Institutional investors, KYCC. So it means that know your customer credentials. When we talk about the retail customers, we talk about KYC, know your customer. Since ETF robo-advisory also include the managed accounts, so they will definitely come under KYCC, know your customer credentials. Second is the implementation of the investment strategies. Implementation of that investment strategies is completely based upon robo. And till what extent this algorithm is tuned to the situation what we have right before us due to the Chinese coronavirus, you know the answer. And I can prove it without quoting the name of any robo-advisor that his or her algorithm is not compatible to the mess off which is happening right now. In 2006, the total ETF market across the globe is around $423 billion. 206. In 2016, it reached to $2.5 trillion. While in terms of the listed ETFs, in 2006, it's around 120. In 2003, it's around 1700. Which means not only in terms of AUM is 2006 to 16, while listing is 2006 to 13. This is what we got data in DB. So in terms of AUM, which is asset under management, it's grew from 423 billion to around 2.5 trillion, while in terms of list on the exchange, in 2006 we were having to around 120 ETFs, now around 1700 ETFs. And why ETFs? We do have ETNs also, exchange traded notes. They are more or less like ETFs, but their credit risk is very high, and guys, many people invest in ETNs. Now we take a break here and try and summarize the whole story, and that summarization is that, this mess off which is happening from Chinese coronavirus is having an impact on the equity market. Now that impact in the equity market would definitely includes the ETF market. ETF market also includes the managed account. Till now there is no confirmation that managed account are sellers, but sooner or later managed account are definitely sellers. So we have no confirmation. Having said that, in this regard, the algorithms which robo-advisors made, it is a real test to them, because such black swan events are not in any books of the globe. Neither 8th November, year of demonetization and selection of American presidency Donald Trump, 26th June, when Britain agreed to go ahead with Brexit, and there are multiple black swans like that. Considering all this, the mess of starting when we got this data. And what is this data? It's a shivering data. This data suggests that, do I need to tell you that American financial market is trillions of dollars? Trillions of dollars. In fact, I really doubt whether any big G7 bank would be able to give an exact amount of the American financial market, cent to cent. I doubt that. So it is trillions of dollars, but the figure I am quoting before you, it would be a shivering figure. Shivering figure means you will feel that, boss, what's happening? What a hype it has been created. In 2013, the total asset under management in United States, which are under robo-advisory, is only 2.5 billion. In 2014, it grew to 6 billion. In 2015, it grew to 9 billion. In 2016, it grew to 16 billion. And in 2017 quarter 1, it grew to about 20 billion. A market who is trillions of dollars. No bank can completely estimate on cent to cent basis. Only $20 billion is under robo-advisory. And unfortunately, in the Deutsche Bank report, this is treated as a success factor. And guys, I am very sorry to say that the fee structure of the robos, which I have already told you, is less than 0.5%. It in fact not 1%. In this whole competitive market, and especially when Grab, who is a loss-making company but fortunately having an access to billions of dollars of the venture capitalist, is coming up in the robo-advisory business, and they can put several $1 million to burn. And I am damn sure regulator is not interested in as far as this phase of the coin is concerned. Till what extent the robos robo-advisory will stay in the market. That's very important. I got few names and they are not the only one. The list is very long. It's a comprehensive list. Actual list is very long. We got few big names, but check it out. Majority of them are VC based and losses, which is 8 Securities Hong Kong, AG Delta Singapore, Artha Yantra India, Auto Wealth Singapore, Bamboo Singapore, Beta Smart Singapore, Better Trade Off Singapore, Canopy Singapore, Stashaway Singapore, Smart Karma Singapore. They are the leading wealth management platforms or robo-advisors, but please be note that they are aggressively taking funding from the venture capitalists as they are burning a lot of money. Till what extent in this market venture capitalists would be able to fund the money, we don't know, but one thing we know, that collapse is very near. And last but not the least, please check on the Google also that multiple robo-advisors closed in the last 2 years or amalgamated with the big advisors. To cut this long discussion short, Treasury Consulting believes in numbers. We don't believe in fake and fancy things. We first collate the numbers, analyze the number, put into the perspective which is known as data crunching. And I have said number of times in my YouTube videos that data crunching is the most important skill a person do have. Whether you are a lawyer, you are a scientist or you are a finance person, the data crunching has to be very good. But unfortunately, no business school, no CFA, no GARP, FRM or chartered accountant or any other degree focuses too much on the data crunching. When I crunch all this data, I got to know that, and in fact I have shared my vision earlier also, that robo-advisory, rather than saying it now an integral part of the capital market, it is moving towards collapse. And take my words, like I predicted about the Yes Bank, and of course we're going to have a separate video on the Yes Bank coming week. Like I raised several questions on Yes Bank and SoftBank and majority of the questions turned true. Robo-advisors will face a bleak future in 2020. This is all about our video. You know our mobile number, which is +91 9899 242 978. You know my alternate number, +91 9818 485 155. I repeat, 9899 242 978. You know our fixed income platform, www.fixedincome.global. Have a great time. Talk soon. So good evening. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer of Treasury Consulting and also a venture capitalist. As you know that Treasury Consulting is a Singaporean based headquarter group and we believe in doing new things on almost every day. We endeavor to be a bank and we are moving as a bank. Having said that, slowly we are adding all the products of our bank under one kitty, which is known as one umbrella. And apart from our bank, we continue to launch new product for our consultancy business also. Unfortunately, when it comes to EdTech, which is known as the education technology, the people mindset is that Coursera, Udemy and all these courses, EDX, they are the only platform. Unfortunately, what is happening is that freebies which are being offered on these platforms are considered in such a way that whatever is being taught is correct, absolutely perfect. Now Treasury Consulting Group is entering as a OTT platform, which is over the top platform, which is known as TRFX Academy. And this TRFX Academy is more or less ready. Having said that, effective in another 10 to 12 days, we would be launching our first course, which would be on the option contracts. Eventually, we would be launching multiple courses, which includes wealth management, include private equity, include interbank, include alternate finance, alternatives, sovereign wealth fund, accounting, IFRS, and multiple. Like you know us very well that we believe in giving practical knowledge. The AgTech platform which we are launching would not be of Byju's, not like Amazon and Netflix. Not because Amazon and Netflix, because we don't offer any movies. Eventually 2021 we would be launching movies, but this is little far now. Not like Byju's, because we will not be giving 10th and 11th and 12th standard knowledge. We would be giving knowledge which are applicable to bankers, lawyers, traders, professionals, prop traders, investment bankers, commodity traders, platform and all. And I assure you that we would be launching very dedicated courses compared to even those topics which you not heard even on the Google. So 15th of March, plus minus 2-3 days, our course would be getting launched. And once it would be getting launched, then it will come on our platform. You can subscribe to that course. We would be targeting 800 rupees per course. Every course would be minimum 120 minutes, which is roughly 2 hours. We would be sharing few Excel files, plus we would be sharing my personal attention of half an hour attached with every course. The price which we kept is very competitive, which is 800 rupees, and we assure you, like you know us, that Treasury Consulting would be launching those courses in the video format which even cannot be found on the Google. Our courses would be made in such a way that what industry want, we will make course accordingly. So industry want a person who knows finance, he should know artificial intelligence also. So we teach him this. Industry want the hardcore concept of the options should be taught. We will teach this. In startups wants need to learn about private equity and all. We will issue this. So rest assured, lot of things are in action. You know my mobile number, which is +91 9899 242 978. You know my alternate mobile number, which is +91 9818 485 155. Our fixed income platform, www.fixedincome.global. We assure you there are much action on the cards, and within this year, Treasury Consulting would be a leading OTT player. Before winding up this video, please don't assume that this is the only thing. As the time would pass, we would be linking our OTT with the cloud service of Amazon, Google, Alibaba or Microsoft, who will offer the better pricing and with the better compatibility. Ultimate objective is before 2021 end, you can see AgTech on a cloud, which is edge technology, just like we have Amazon Prime. It's a new chapter for Treasury Consulting, and Treasury Consulting is ready as usual. Have a great time.